Hi, here's a question for you. Does a tree have a spirit? And that's an interesting question. We've discussed spirit animals and the strength of them and the power of them, but not many people talk about trees actually having a spirit or an energy. And along my way of practicing shamanism and understanding nature and being aligned with her teaching, her teachings of many things. That's nature can teach us a lot. Oh, and by the way, please hit subscribe and the bell, as you may find the following information really useful. And there is a lot more to follow, and I do mix it up, so to try and get your curiosity going, so that you engage with all things spiritual and natural and energetic. So it sounds really interesting when I ask this question, as my relationship with trees has been from an early memories as a child. And it wasn't until I started putting this together that I suddenly realised I was really drawn to an elder. And as a kid, I used to make bows and arrows from the saplings. And I didn't actually understand or have any teachings around me about trees, and that I was meant to sort of ask permission of them if I wanted to cut something off them, like saplings. And I didn't know that they also can give us a strength of being as well as a comfort. And when I look back now, I realise that they did, because I used to make bows and arrows and pretend to be an Indian. I can't remember how old I was, but they're my very early memories. And interestingly, the energy of this tree, in some ancient European teachings, they actually called her Elder Mother. And again, this intrigues me, because now as we begin to talk about this and being drawn into Mother Tree energy, so in other words, the spirit of the tree. And in Britain, there are sort of, in days gone by, that many wise people would tip the hat to the elder, as in Britain they used to tip the hat to aristocracy and what they deemed as people above them in society. They also used to tip the hats to the elder and show respect for her. And of course, this is all myth and legend, but is it? And some North American tribes actually believe that the elder is the mother of the human race. It's interesting. We go back to this mother from North American tribes, which don't forget, all these indigenous people couldn't speak to each other, but the writings and the teachings are the same. So I'm also curious about all these teachings from ancient generations, as there's something really powerful about them. And as I delve more into working with spirit and spirituality, I know that there have been sort of distortions of stories along the way, but even so, when you feel into it, there's something powerful behind it all. And even in pagan times, there was a pagan witch elder, and that there'd be a certain tree that they paid homage to. And interestingly enough, mainstream religions ban them as they begin to form. They ban paganism practices, and they all sort of died out as a practice. And I often wonder what religions were actually frightened of at that particular time, and still are, of course. And in ancient Britain, the Elder Mother within the tree was said to offer a lot of cures for all mankind, meaning that the elder has a lot of healing benefits, and these come from its roots, leaves, bark, fruit, and spirit, of course, the energy. And it's really fascinating when you get into the medicinal properties of the tree, because it's got a real broad spectrum. And so the following information I'm going to give you is to get you curious. Please do your own research. As with all medicinal properties, we need to understand the ins and outs. And if you're not sure, go to a specialist herbalist, so somebody that specialises in it. But the elder bark is actually a diuretic, and it's got strong purgatives, meaning that it can make you vomit quickly, which is pretty handy if you've ingested something that needs evacuating, such as food, in case you have poisoning, or you've eaten something that you need to get out. And interestingly, the young shoots of the elder can be boiled like asparagus. And when you eat them, they clear the lungs and clear the head of phlegm as well. And the pith of the shoots, this is really fascinating. They contain a mild sleep-induced drug. And how fascinating that is when you get right into the plant's energy of what it can do. And the leaves of the elder are used fresh and, of course, dried. There would be, because they'd have to dry them for the winter months. And the properties also can help with inflammation of the eyes. And if you sniff it, it clears stuffy nose, congestion. And the leaves are also said that they can cause vomiting, and that they can be a diuretic as well as an expectorant if you take it internally. So if you do get involved with this, great caution needs to be taken. Have a cautious approach to everything. And interestingly, can always be used as a poultice for inflammation on the body. And in Britain, of course, Henry VIII was very much into herbalism and used a lot of herbs to cure his illnesses, especially poultices, because he'd got open wounds. Now, the flowers are interesting because they're also picked when they're fully open, then can be dried and, interestingly, pickled and salted, again for storage, and then used as a health supplement, and you can fry them in batter or just add them to food. And this is all really, really interesting. When I started digging into the properties of an actual elder tree, the flowers can be used for many ailments, and I would strongly suggest, again, do your own research, because these were used years ago for ailments such as bronchial catarrh, bronchitis, of course, and interestingly, many eruptive fevers like scarlet fever or measles, and also rheumatism and gout. Infusions were also used for inhaling to ease colds and gargle for sore throats. But again, be aware that they are a mild laxative. So if you gargle with them, then you don't want to be swallowing much of it. The flowers have so many medicinal uses. And again, if you're drawn to them, please do your own research. And interesting, the berries, these have many properties of the flowers. And of course, one of the things that they were used for was a remedy for colic and diarrhea. And the dried berries, again, they dry them and they're made into teas. Now, we all know the berries can be made into wine, but in days gone by, the wine was administered hot to relieve chills, flu and asthma, again, expectorant. And they used to simmer the juice of the fruit with sugar, and they would make a concoction called Rob, which was a syrup used for colds, coughs and flus. And this way of the way they make the syrup actually gave it a long shelf life. So just a quick recipe, again, do your own research, look into it. 2 kilos of the berries, ripe ones, crushed, and then the juice is extracted. And then you simmer with 450 grams of sugar, or more if you want, because you need to make a consistency like honey, so you need to adjust it to get it that syrupy texture. Let it cool and bottle it. So there you go. Really interesting. That's the common elder. And again, in shamanic practices, spiritual practices, people are very close to nature, and I put this information out for you to just get curious and look at alternatives to help us with all these things that we can do. And you could just take an elder and study it, and then begin to make a syrup this year, and perhaps dry the flowers and the berries for the following year. You could play about with it over the next couple of years, just on that one tree. And it'd be interesting to see what the results are for yourself and try it. So thanks for listening. Don't forget to hit subscribe and the bell. I am here every Wednesday, and I put various information out. So Stephen Bones, you'll catch me at stephenbones.com, and see you soon.